Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Pratik Singh Classes. In this video we are going to study standard 9 science. Can matter change its state? This is our first chapter section 1.4. Okay, and this video is the third video in the sequence. Okay, if you want to see the previous two videos, I will add cards. Just touch the mobile screen and at the top right corner you will see an I button. Okay, those I buttons contains the links of the previous videos. If you click that link, it will take you to the previous video whichever you want. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, please subscribe it now and hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video, you will get its instant notification. Please like and share the channel so that everybody should get benefits from my knowledge. Fine, so let us start our today's video. Okay, that is about can matter change its state? Alright, so let us start our today's class. The topic is can matter change its state? Okay, fine. We already have seen water as in liquid form which we drink, then in solid form like ice, and in gaseous form like water vapor. Okay, so about those things we will study here. Means is it possible that an object in any state can change its state? Okay, means whether a solid can be converted into a liquid or in gas and vice versa. Fine, so let us start out this class. We all know from our observation that water can exist in three states of matter, that is solid as ice as we see, okay, then liquid as we are familiar, okay, water, okay, and then gas as water vapor. Means water is available in all forms of matter. Fine, what happens inside the matter during the change of states? Okay, that means when the matter changes its state, okay, what really happens inside the particles or inside the particles of the matter? Okay, what happens to the particles of matter during the change of a state? Means when any matter is changing its state, means from liquid to solid or from liquid to gas, okay, what happens to its particles? Then how does this change of a state take place? Okay, means what happens or how it happens that solid converts into a gas or a liquid. Okay, isn't it interesting that the water which we see is in liquid phase and it converts suddenly into vapor or in ice? Okay, the question arises here is what is the reason? Okay, so let us try to understand these things with the help of some examples, activities. Okay, activity 1.12. Let us see the figure first. What is given here? As you can see in this figure on the screen, okay, a stand is there. On the stand there is a stove which is cooling ice which is kept in a beaker. Okay, a glass stirrer is kept in that beaker, okay, which will stir the melting ice, okay, so that the temperature will dissipate in all directions equally, and then there is a laboratory thermometer dipped here, okay, which will measure the increase of temperature of this ice. Okay, so now coming to the activities theory. Take about 150 gram of ice in a beaker and suspend a laboratory thermometer so that its bulb is in contact with the ice. Okay, so as you can see here, 150 gram of ice is kept, okay, and the thermometer is dipped in that ice so that the bulb of the thermometer is always in contact with the ice. Okay, now in the next figure, figure B, you can see that the ice became water, okay, and the thermometer has given some reading. Is it possible that the thermometer will give some reading? Okay, let us see what happens here. Now start heating the beaker on a low flame. Means if you give the low flame, the ice will melt, okay, slowly and slowly, okay, and note the temperature when the ice starts melting. Okay, the temperature when you will put the thermometer in contact with ice, it will show 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, and once the ice starts melting, you will be amazed to know that even though the ice starts melting, the temperature reading on the thermometer, okay, will show you 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, note the temperature when all the ice has converted into water. Okay, now once the ice vanishes and it becomes water, at that time note the temperature. Record the observation for this conversion of solid to liquid state. Okay, now you record the conversion means when total ice has converted into water. Okay, whether the temperature in the thermometer has changed or not. You will be amazed to know that till the ice was melting and till the time when total ice melted and became water or means became liquid, the temperature in the thermometer will show you zero deflection, means still it will show you 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, now put a glass rod in a beaker and heat while stirring till water starts boiling. Okay, now what you could do is once all the ice becomes liquid, okay, means becomes water, put that glass rod in the beaker and stir it well and start the boiling of water. Now keep a careful eye on thermometer reading till most of the water has vaporized. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to keep an eye on the thermometer and you will take the observations, means you have to take the reading of the thermometer, and now you will see that as the water boils, as the temperature increases, okay, the thermometer's reading will also increase. Okay, you have to take the temperature till most of the water vaporized. Record your observations for the conversion of water in the liquid state to the gaseous state. Okay, what you have done here in this practical is, in this activity is that you have taken ice in a beaker, we have started heating it and started taking the reading from thermometer. Okay, till the ice converts into water, the thermometer has shown 0 deflection. After the water starts boiling, okay, only after that time the thermometer's reading will start changing. Okay, it will keep on changing till the time water will start vaporizing, and once water will start vaporizing, again the thermometer's reading will become constant, and it will be constant till all the water converts into water vapor. Okay, so this is the observation which we have seen in 1.12. On increasing the temperature of solids, the kinetic energy of particles increases. Always keep in mind this thing, that whenever we increase the temperature of solids, kinetic energy of the particles increases. Whenever, okay, whether solid or liquid or gas, even if you heat gas, okay, the gaseous particles kinetic energy will increase. Due to the increase in kinetic energy, the particles start vibrating with greater speed. Okay, what really happens because of increase in kinetic energy? Okay, the thing is that when kinetic energy increases, the particles start vibrating with greater speed. Okay, in that situation they will collide with each other very fastly, very vigorously, and in very lesser time. Okay, and in that situation when they will collide very fastly, they will also exert higher pressure on the inner walls of the vessel in which it is kept. Okay, and in that situation pressure increases. Okay, so in further classes, in upper classes, you will study that when we increase the temperature, pressure also increases, and that is the reason. This is the reason here, that the kinetic energy of the particles increases, and so they start vibrating very fastly. Okay, and because of that they exert higher pressure to the inner walls of the container or of the vessel. The energy supplied by heat overcomes the forces of attraction between the particles. We know very well, okay, that in solids or liquids, the particles are connected to each other with the force of attraction very hardly. Okay, hardest in solids, hardly in liquids, and rarely in gases. But what happens here is, in the case of solids or liquid, that when we heat it, the kinetic energy of the particles will increase, and because of that kinetic energy, the force of attraction between the particles will decrease. Okay, and once it becomes so less that they overcome the force of attraction, and then they are able to move freely from one place to other place, and in that situation solid converts into liquids. The particles leave from their fixed position and start moving more freely. Okay, and thus it converts from solid to liquid. A stage is reached when the solid melts and it is converted to a liquid. Okay, and this stage happens when every particle overcomes the force of attraction. Okay, the minimum temperature at which a solid melts to become a liquid at the atmospheric pressure is called its melting point, and every different object has different melting point, that is its property. Okay, the melting point of a solid is an indication of the strength of force of attraction between its particle. Okay, higher will be the melting point, higher will be the force of attraction. It happens that suppose we take an example of aluminium and iron. Okay, aluminium melts at lesser temperature with respect to iron. Why does it happen? Because the force of attraction between the particles of aluminium is lesser than that the force of attraction between the particles of iron. That is why to overcome the force of attraction, okay, of iron particles, higher energy is needed with respect to the aluminium particles. Okay, the melting point of ice is 273.15 Kelvin. Okay, see it is given here in Kelvin scale. Just comment the Fahrenheit scale in the comment section of this video. The process of melting, that is change of solid state into liquid state, is known as fusion. Okay, fuse means it has overcome something to fuse. Okay, so here when the solid converts into liquid, this process is called as fusion. When a solid melts, its temperature remains the same. So where does the heat energy go? Now here question comes. Okay, as we have seen in the case of melting of ice, when we were heating ice, okay, once the ice starts melting, the temperature in the thermometer has shown 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, until the ice melted fully, okay, the temperature shown in the thermometer was still 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, but we have supplied heat to the ice, then where has that heat energy gone? Okay, that is what given here. When solid melts, its temperature remains the same. So where does the heat energy go? Okay, this heat energy goes in breaking the force of attraction among the particles. Okay, so let us see what is given in the book. You must have observed during the experiment of melting that the temperature of the system does not change after the melting point is reached till the ice melts. Okay, till all the ice melts, the temperature hasn't changed. Okay, this happens even though we continue to heat the beaker, that is we continue to supply heat. Okay, as we have seen in activity 1.12 that even though we have applied or we have added heat energy to the ice, the temperature remained constant even though ice melted. This heat gets used up in changing the state by overcoming the force of attraction between the particles. Okay, that means the applied heat. Okay, here the heat which we have supplied is not gone waste, it is just used by the particles to overcome the force of attraction. Okay, and to change the state of matter, that is from solid to liquid. As this heat energy is absorbed by ice without showing any rise in temperature, it is considered that it gets hidden into the contents of beaker and is known as latent heat. Okay, so what really has happened here is, because we have because we have provided heat energy, but even though the temperature hasn't changed, okay, we say that this provided energy has just become vanished. Okay, that is why it is called as latent heat. The word latent means hidden or to vanish. The amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion. So this is the this is the definition of latent heat of fusion. You have to memorize it very well. Okay, if you understand the concept what is latent heat, okay, no need to memorize. Okay, and it is always advisable not to memorize anything without understanding it fully. Fine. So particles in water at 0 degree Celsius, 0 degree Celsius means 273 Kelvin, have more energy as compared to particles in ice at the same temperature. Means if suppose you have two beakers, in one you have water, okay, at 0 degree Celsius, and other you have ice at 0 degree Celsius. It means that the water has higher energy than the 1 minute, I am getting a call. I'm sorry, I got a call, so one glitch has came in the video, so I pause it. Fine. So see, if suppose you have two beakers, one is filled with water at 0 degrees Celsius and the other beaker is filled with ice at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, in that situation, water will have more energy than ice. Fine. When we supply heat energy to water, particles start moving even faster. Means earlier we have seen that when water was in solid phase, means ice, when we have supplied heat to ice, the particles of the ice started moving away from each other and thus the ice converted into liquid. Again, when we add more heat to this water, okay, the particles of water will start moving even faster. Okay, at a certain temperature, a point is reached when the particles have enough energy to break free from the force of attraction of each other. So what really happens is, as we supply more and more energy, okay, in the form of heat energy to the liquid or to the water here, okay, the particles of the water will get so energetic that they will overcome the force of attraction between each other. And what happens then? Okay, when the force of attraction will become negligible, okay, the particles will start moving farther away from each other as much as possible. At this temperature, the liquid starts changing into gas because there is negligible force of attraction between the particles left over. The temperature at which the liquid starts boiling at the atmospheric pressure is known as boiling point. So this is the definition of boiling point, always keep in mind. Okay, then boiling is a bulk phenomenon. Okay, suppose if you have a beaker which contains 100 ml of any liquid and you start heating that liquid and the liquid starts boiling, okay, that doesn't mean only the few particles have started moving out of the liquid. Okay, it is given here, boiling is a bulk phenomenon, means it happens to all the particles of the liquid available. Okay, particles from the bulk of the liquid gain enough energy to change into the vapor state. Okay, and you will be amazed to know that once the particle starts moving out, or when the particles, or sorry, when the liquid starts boiling, okay, till all the liquid converts into gas, okay, the temperature of the liquid remains constant, it will not change. Okay, then what happens to the heat energy added? Okay, the more and more heat energy you will add, okay, that energy will be consumed to break away the force of attraction between the particles. Okay, particles from the bulk of the liquid gain energy to change into the vapor state. Fine. For water, this temperature is 373 Kelvin, or this is in Kelvin scale. In degree Celsius, it is 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, to convert Celsius scale into Kelvin scale, just add 273. Suppose in degree Celsius you have x degree Celsius, in Kelvin it will become x plus 273. Okay, and always write K in capitals, not in a smaller, because a small k means kilo. Fine. Can you define the latent heat of vaporization? Okay, in same way you can write the definition of latent heat of vaporization, as we have seen earlier about the latent heat of liquid or the latent heat of solid. Do it in the same way as we have defined for latent heat of fusion, okay, which we have seen in previous slide. Particles in steam, that is water vapor at 373 Kelvin, have more energy than water at same temperature. Okay, once again, if suppose you have water at 100 degrees Celsius and water vapor at 100 degrees Celsius, in that situation water vapor will have more energy with compared to water. Means at same temperature gases have more energy than liquid. That is why if suppose you come in contact with hot boiling water, okay, suppose boiling water has fallen on your hand, and at same temperature vapor has come in contact on your hand. In that situation, vapor will burn more severely than the water because it contains higher energy than liquid phase. This is because particles in steam have absorbed extra energy to form latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so here you can see the diagram, and this is very important to remember these types of diagrams because it makes you to understand the things very easy. Okay, solid state, when it is heated it converts into liquid, and when liquid state is heated it converts into gases, and when gases are cooled down means heat is extracted from the gases, okay, it will convert into liquid and then it in solid. Okay, so we infer here that the state of matter can be changed into another state by changing the temperature. Okay, means just by adding energy or removing energy we can change the state of matter. We have learned that substances around us change state from solid to liquid and from liquid to gas on application of heat and vice versa. Okay, but there are some that change directly from solid state to gaseous state and vice versa without changing into liquid state. Okay, so see in this figure here, as you can see that a substance which is earlier in solid, okay, when added heat it converted into liquid, and then when added heat it converted into gas. But sometimes it happens that the gaseous matter directly converts into solid when it is cooled down, and solid converts directly into gas when it is heated. Okay, there are some substances. Okay, fine. Now we will see activity 1.13. Okay, take some camphor or ammonium chloride, camphor which we use in our worshipping, okay, and crush it and put it in a china dish. As you can see in this figure, on this china dish we have some crushed camphor, okay, and it is being heated. What happens here is, because this is a solid, okay, when it is heated it must convert into liquid then to gas, but when it was heated, when camphor was heated, it has directly converted into gas. Okay, put an inverted funnel over the china dish. As you can see in this figure, put a cotton plug on the stem of the funnel as shown in this figure. As you can see here on the figure, it is just like a cork. Okay, just a minute. Fine. Now heat it slowly and observe what happens. What do you infer from this activity? A change of state directly from solid to gas without changing into liquid state is called sublimation, and the direct change of gas to solid without change of into liquid is called as deposition. Means when solid changes into gas it is called as sublimation, and when gas changes into solid before coming into liquid or without coming into liquid is called as deposition. Okay, so here we have seen the way how states of matter can change. Okay, this was too much interesting chapter. I hope you might have enjoyed it. Okay, I request all of you that once you go through this video, please comment in the comment section what are your likes and dislikes, and what extra things you want, what are the things you want me to remove, so that I can make the videos for you as much interesting as much possible, okay, which will benefit you as well as me also. Okay, so fine. Till my next video, take care of yourself. In our next video we will study about this one, section 1.4.2, that is effect of change of pressure on matter. Okay, means when pressure change, whether it happens that solid will change to liquid and liquid to gas or vice versa. Okay, so this topic is going to be very interesting, because the topic which we have seen in today and which we will see in next video, it is directly connected to standard 11 physics and chemistry. So in future if you will prepare for engineering, these two topics will come okay, frequently. Fine. So till my next video, take care of yourself. Bye bye.